contents of my infinity closet continue to expand, and in this video I'm going to go through my March mail call. Hi, welcome to my infinity closet. I'm Peter. March was a bit of a slow month for my collection, expanding it and moving it into the infinity closet and out of the house, but I did get some really nice pieces over the course of the last month. I'm going to crack these boxes and then we're going to go through them real quick and talk about what we got. Alright, now I've gotten everything open and we're just going to run through real quick and talk about a couple of these things that we've gotten here. First and least, we've got Beast Machines Rattrap sealed in the package. Beast Machines was the follow-up series to Beast Wars, which was ridiculously successful and popular and all that fun stuff. Beast Machines is a little bit more controversial, both in the execution of the animated series by Mainframe Entertainment and by the execution of the toy line. Was it Hasbro by then? Yeah, it was back to Hasbro by then. Beast Wars was initially handled by Kenner and then went back to Hasbro proper. Kenner at that point was a subsidiary of Hasbro, and yeah, they went back under the Hasbro banner toward the end during the Fox Kids and the Beast Wars Mutants, Transmetals, the later Transmetals 2, I believe, the later bits of the series. Rattrap in particular is an interesting toy. He looks better. The toy looks better, I believe, than the character did in the cartoon, where he was a kind of a wheeled, legless monstrosity. This one has a little bit of heft to it, and I like his rat mode. Just, you know, it's fine. So yeah, moving back in time from Beast Machines, I've got a couple of Generation 2 pieces which I've been after for a while. Both of them are carded. I've got Leadfoot from the Rotor Force, and he's an Autobot, and I've got Ransack from the Decepticon Rotor Force. So these guys are cool for a number of reasons. One, they've got these like twist-up motor weapons that have these launching, spinning rotor things, and they can be used in either vehicle mode or in robot mode. There were 4 figures altogether. There was Manta Ray, he's a boat, Leadfoot, the Formula 1 racer, Ransack, the biplane or World War II plane, does it say this model here? It does not. And Power Dive, who's an Apache-style helicopter. You know, liberties were taken with each. But the Decepticon rotors in particular are really cool because they came with 2 different variations each. They either had red rotors or they had black rotors. The black rotors are significantly harder to find. These are hard to find to begin with, carded. But if you can find carded black rotors for your Decepticon Rotor Force characters, then they're awesome. They're awesome. It's a great visual difference, and the scarcity factor is just really on. You know, it ratchets up when you. My light went off. Hang on a sec. This is me being professional. So the black rotor guys are a lot more hard to find. I had a black rotor Power Dive at one point, but somewhere over the years, I keep the infinity closet nice and organized, but at some point, while opening packages and going through things and sorting things out, I lost him. He's gone. I have no idea where he is. He's not in my Gen 2 totes. He's not anywhere else that I've checked. I lost a wallet in here one time. Never found it. Don't know. So, yeah. Anyway, so super happy to get these guys, add them to the collection. I'm still looking for those black rotor Decepticon Rotor Force guys, and I still need a carded Manta Ray, but getting these 2 added and knocked out of the checklist is a big boon for me. I'm happy. Moving on, I've got this. I'm a big fan of weird merchandise and things like that, so when I find Transformers branded stuff, I've got a whole box full of, a tote and a box full of Generation 1 stuff, you know, different type of merchandise, the magnetics and the stick and lift stuff and the shrinky dinks and all the whatever. So this is one that's fun. It's from Beast Wars 2nd, which was the initial Japanese follow-up series to the first season of Beast Wars. Featuring a whole new cast and crew. There was a special movie that came out that had a guest appearance by Optimus Primal, or as he was known over there, Beast Convoy. And so and they reused some interesting, there were some interesting reuses of Generation 2 and Machine Wars figures in Beast Wars 2nd. So it's a really fun series. So this is a 2-pack of drinking glasses. They're little short guys, featuring, was it Tasmania Kid, and I believe it's Dirge. Dirge and Thrust were the 2 jets that were used in using the Machine Wars molds in Beast Wars 2nd here. I think Dirge is the blue one. I should have checked it before the video, but whatever. So it's blue guy. I'm gonna go with Dirge for now. Feel free to comment and correct me or whatever. That's fine. So just 2 drinking glasses in the package. You know, has an actual Takara sticker. It's a sticker, not a something printed on there. Nothing on the bottom. We've got art going around from Megastorm and BB and Thrust and Starscream, Leo Convoy, Diver, Scuba, and that's it. Going on the top, it shows like Cybertron and Planet. Was it Gaia? I think it was Gaia. But no Galvatron, which is interesting. So this kind of reads off of the first few episodes of the series where Galvatron was taking a nap. If you were to encapsulate that box art and trying to assign it to a time in the series. Here I've got an assortment of Trainbot parts. Now, the Trainbots were originally released in 1980 in the Diaclone line as a Train Robo. There's a set of 6 different trains, and they could combine, they could transform from trains into robots, and then they could combine into one long train, or they could combine in robot form to one large Train Robo Gestalt figure. They were reissued in different deco later on in Diaclone, which is significantly harder to find, fun new colors, and then they were ported over to the Transformers series in the Headmaster subline in 1987. And they were released as individuals in individual boxes, and they were released in a gift set, a large gift set, and they were all given names when they were Transformers related. There was Yukikaze, Shuki, Seizen, Suiken, Getsui, and Kain, and they all combined to form Raiden. So there are different mold variations between the Headmaster's version, the Diaclone version, and the eventual Zone release versions, which came out in 1990. And I've made a little spreadsheet to try and like show those differences. But real quick, I've got 2 different hands from 2 different releases of Raiden here, and it's real simple to see. I mean, right off the bat, this one's got a 5mm peg for plugging the fist in for Raiden, and this one has a launching, like, missile type peg. So that tells you right off the bat that for the Diaclone release, though, I'm sorry, yeah, so the long one, the missile type one, is for the Diaclone release. So the longer one, that shows you that for the Diaclone initial issue of the Trainbots, or who would become known as the Trainbots, they had launching train ends and launching missiles and things like that, and that's one of the initial mold variations that you can pick out, is that there's a button on top of the characters that eventually became Suiken and Seizen. There's a button, and it launches the end of the train off. There are spots for Diaclone drivers on each of the trains. Those molds were changed slightly so that you couldn't get a Diaclone driver into the eventual Transformers release of Kain. There are other mold changes to accommodate faction symbols, or rub signs rather, in the Headmaster releases, and then those molds were changed further to remove those flat spots for the rub signs for the zone releases. So just real quick here, I've got the instruction booklet for the character that eventually became known as Seizen. He's a little yellowish train with a mouth plate. I've got an unused sticker sheet for him. I've got his gun. I've got the little track connector pieces, 3 of those off the sprue, and 1 set of 3 on the sprue. One cool thing that the Diaclone releases of the Trainbots came with was a piece of track, and the pieces of track connected together here and here, so you could run one long piece of track and put your Trainbots in train mode, connected all together on a piece of track. The track was omitted for the Headmaster and Zone releases, but it is neat to see. Did I already say I have the instruction manual for this guy? It's pretty cool. I obviously have the Diaclone fist for Seizen, and I've got 2 of the leg lasers for Raiden, as well as Raiden's large gun. Now I've got most of these pieces already, the Headmaster versions of them, in my individually boxed Headmaster Trainbots. But it's nice to get a nice loose set, and it's always nice to see not only unused sticker sheets, but the connector pieces on the sprue. Now, these connector pieces were used to connect the different trains together, so often you'll find them like this, where they're not on the sprue anymore because kids played with them and adults also played with them. So it's fun to get them loose off the sprue so I can actually play with my Trainbots like that, and have them nicely on the sprue so I can put that in a box somewhere, like my individual box Trainbots, and have a nice unused set. The individual gun for the character that eventually became known as Seizen, and one of the wings for Raiden. So that's good. I've got to take a look at this one and make sure I can tell by the mold variations which release this is, and I'll take a look at that later. So moving on to my next piece, I ordered this from an individual in Australia, and I already have the figure, but it's nice to get a nice box. This is, of course, clench. Box is a little bit smushy over here, but otherwise the window's really nice, corners are really nice. It needs an insert. I'm going to empty out all this peanut packing popcorn stuff. This is from the original Generation 1 1.5 release of Clench. He was reissued in Generation 2 in the UK and European countries as Colossus, and he transforms from a truck into, where's the picture? There we go. So we go from a truck with a launchy thing into a large leader robot with a launchy thing. Not too impacted by GPS, unlike his mold mate, or I'm sorry, his wave mate Pyro, or Colossus, the Autobot obliterator. And I'm just happy to have him. Excuse me. And the last piece for my mail call for the month of March 2019 is a Generation 2 Starscream, carded, nice and clear, sealed. Whew, nice white Starscream, no yellowing. I've got to get in there and check those batteries, see if they light up anymore. But aside from that, I am really happy with the way this guy looks. He was part of the initial wave of Generation 2 figures. He was packaged in a case, you know, his casemate was Ramjet, who I got last month. I already had these guys loose, but it's good to get them on the card. And I am just so happy to have added all of these pieces to my collection, my ever-expanding, never-ending collection going into the Infinity Closet. So that's pretty much it for April. Quick and easy, good stuff. A couple of goofy things like the Beast Machines piece, and yeah, have at it. So that's it. I'm Peter. I'm a guy in a storage unit, and wishing all of you to remain forever Destron, and I'll see you next month. Thanks.